When was the last time you responded to your partner from your gut instead of asking ChatGPT what to say? When was the last time that your dopamine hit came from a human and not like a red dot? When was the last time you felt a genuine spark of connection that wasn't prompted by a notification? Because here's what I think's happening. I think we're losing our ability to love. Not because we're cold, not because we're broken, but because we've outsourced intimacy to algorithms. We're asking AI how to respond to our partner's distress, how to write the perfect apology, how to flirt, how to comfort, how to connect. And every time we do, we skip the messy, uncomfortable human work of actually just figuring out what we think, what we feel, what we would say if we had to just sit in our own emotional labor instead of outsourcing it to a machine. Your most intimate moments are being rewritten by code, and we're calling it optimization. But what if we're not optimizing love? What if we're just killing it? Hey y'all, welcome back to the Every Shade podcast. I'm Nina in Hong Kong, and I'm ranting. I was reading something that kind of freaked me out. Generative AI relationship assistance. Basically designed to help us navigate human emotion. Basically, a large language model now tells us how to be human, how to personalize, how to be context aware, how to communicate, how to show empathy, and not just at work, but like in our personal lives now too. When did shit get this bad? Several people I know who are going through like breakups, who are dating on the apps, off the apps, navigating divorce, and basically all stages of relationship and affection, all of them, and I mean all of them, are running their decisions through AI. So someone's partner is upset, stressed, going through something, and instead of just talking to them, sitting with them, fumbling through it like humans have been doing for thousands of years, they're copying entire bits of conversation into ChatGPT. My husband lost his job. What should I say to make him feel better? My girlfriend is crying about her mom's diagnosis. How do I respond? My partner sent me this long bit of emotional text. What's the perfect thing to say back? And ChatGPT, of course, delivers a perfectly crafted response, empathetic, supportive, hitting all the right emotional beats, the kind of response that would make a $200 an hour therapist just nod approvingly. And the person copies it, adds an emoji, sad face, and sends it. Problem solved. Except it's not solved because that's not your empathy. That's algorithmic empathy. That's a language model predicting what empathy should sound like based on millions of data points of how other people have expressed care. But your partner, your wife, your husband, they don't want a statistically optimal response to their pain. They want you. Messy, uncertain, maybe saying the wrong thing at first, trying again, still sucking slightly, sitting in the discomfort with them instead of trying to immediately fix it with the perfect words. Because here's what I think we're really losing. That fumbling, that getting it wrong the first time, that struggling to find the words to say, that was the intimacy. When you didn't know what to say, you just sat there, right? You held their hand, you let them cry. You said something clumsy like, I don't know what to say, but I'm here. That awkwardness, that uncertainty, that the trying was proof that you cared because you were willing to be uncomfortable, to not have the answers, but to show up anyway. But now we've outsourced that labor, and we've convinced ourselves that we're being better partners by doing it. More thoughtful, more emotionally intelligent. Why get it wrong when I can get it perfect? AI perfect. But we're not, we're just being more efficient. And efficiency, my friends, is the death of intimacy. Because intimacy isn't about saying the perfect thing, sending the perfect text, and hitting all the right emotional notes. It's about being willing to say the imperfect thing and stay in the room while your partner reacts to it. It's about learning their specific emotional language through years of trial and error. It's about knowing that when she goes quiet, it means she needs space, not solutions. Not because AI told you, but because you've been with her long enough to read her. But we're not learning to read each other anymore. We're not building that muscle. We're just asking the algorithm what the other person probably feels, probably needs, and we're delivering it like we're following a recipe, rinse and repeat. And here's the really insidious part, right? Your partner can tell. Probably not consciously, maybe they can't quite put their finger on it, but something feels off. The response is too perfect, it's too polished. It doesn't sound like you. It sounds like a self-help book. It sounds rehearsed. And so instead of feeling seen, they feel managed. Like you're performing empathy rather than actually feeling it. And they'll say to their friends, he sounds like a therapist. It's kind of weird. Because it is fake, or at least it's not yours. It's borrowed empathy, outsourced emotional labor. And every time you do it, you're training yourself out of the skill of spontaneous empathy. You're teaching yourself that you can't trust your own instincts, that your natural response is not good enough, that you need an algorithm to tell you how to care about the person that you love. And what happens when that algorithm is not available? When you're face to face with your partner and they're falling apart, losing it, and you can't pull out your phone to quickly ask ChatGPT what to do? You freeze because you haven't been practicing. You've been outsourcing. And even with new relationships, we've become so dependent on AI that the very foundation of these relationships we're building is an LLM. Does this mean she wants to take things slowly? How do I respond to his message while coming off as confident and secure? What should I say so that he knows I like him? Is it too early to ask if she wants kids? 2026 generative relationship assistants have shifted our focus from spontaneous conversation to optimized communication. And then we also let AI decide who we should date. Are his messages giving low-key narcissist? Should I run away now? Your most intimate moments are being rewired into performative scripts, stripping away the soul of human bonding. Your relationship is becoming just a series of data-driven gestures, and there's no more room for messy, unscripted love. The muscle of empathy, the ability to sit with someone's pain, to read their cues, to offer comfort even when you don't have the perfect words, that muscle atrophies when you don't use it. And we're sitting here watching an entire generation atrophy in real time. You can't sit through long enough to decipher the emotional need of somebody communicating to you with any amount of focused listening, right? So we very quickly shift to rapid fire scanning of just these AI summaries. Because we've decided that being a good partner means optimizing our responses, saying the statistically best thing instead of the humanly imperfect thing. But love isn't in the statistics. Love is messy. Love is, I don't know what you need, but I am trying to figure it out with you. Love is getting it wrong sometimes, apologizing, learning, trying again. Love is not copying the perfect response from AI and then pretending it came from your heart. Jeez. Algorithms have found a way to hack our basic instincts for affection, right? And so we've transformed genuine care into the pursuit of some sort of data-driven efficiency. We are witnessing the death of spontaneous human empathy, as predictive models are telling us how to love and when to connect. Code is hollowing out our hearts. And the more we outsource our empathy, the less capable we become of genuine human connection, right? Because genuine connection requires you to be present, to be uncertain, to not have all the answers. It requires you to be human. And we're letting algorithms teach us how to be anything but. It's crazy. And when we're not benchmarking against AI values, we're benchmarking against high-performing social media couples that the algorithm shows us, right? That's the next thing. We go on IG and the algo shows us power couples. We see people posting the best 10 minutes of their month, edited to perfection with just the right transitions and just the right music to convince us all that Kool-Aid comes out of their fountain. And there's never a raised voice in their household because the hills are alive with the sound of bullcrap. And instantly we benchmark, right? You benchmark your love, you benchmark your life, your spouse, against a series of curated scripts. And you're disappointed that the magical moment your boyfriend just executed on his 3-month paycheck was not IG worthy. Social media has made it so we've now shifted into performative everything, right? Oh, he took me out to dinner, but it was so basic, not romantic at all. Romance as defined by the reels the algo keeps pushing your way because, well, it gives you what you want. I want to do this really great thing for my partner, but more importantly, I want to record it so that I can post it and get the approval of strangers, mostly bots and people held against their will at an internet farm in Myanmar. Social media prioritizes the public display of intimacy over private moments of connection, and that has crept into how we now choose to display love. At some point, we shifted from, I just want to buy them flowers on my way home. I just want to make them a stack of pancakes and smother it in syrup like they like. We've shifted from that to romantic gestures that we select based on their shareability and their algorithm-friendly aesthetics, rather than any personal meaning. Between the relationship assistants and the fake relationships on social media, we are all so performative. Love Jones. I guess what breaks my heart about all of this is this. This is the tragedy here. We're not losing the ability to truly connect with others. Not just that. We're losing the ability to be seen and to see. Let me explain what I mean, or what I think I mean. There's a kind of intimacy that has nothing to do with words. It's the ability to look at someone and just know, to read their body language, their energy, the slight shift in how they're holding themselves, and understand without them saying a single word that something's wrong, or right, or different. You know what I mean? The way they run their hands through their hair, or they bite their lip, the way they fidget, or they pick up their beard, or they purse their lips. It's the way you used to be able to sit in comfortable silence with someone. No phones, no distractions, just presence. And in that silence, in that eye contact, in that being with another person, that was connection. And we're losing that ability rapido. Because we can't sit in silence anymore. We can't make eye contact for more than a few seconds without it feeling uncomfortable. We can't read the room. We can't sense when somebody is nervous or hurt or anxious by just looking at them. We need words. We need texts. We need emojis. We need the other person to explicitly tell us how they're feeling, because we've lost the ability to just see. How do I know my date went well? Honey boo boo, you were there. You were physically present. How the heck am I supposed to know? I wasn't there. ChatGPT wasn't there either. Did you not feel it? Could you not read their energy, their body language? You know, are they leaning in? Are they pulling away? I can't tell. I need them to text me so that I can ask Gemini to analyze what they're thinking. And that's where we are now. We can't trust our own read of the situation anymore. We need digital confirmation. We need the emoji. We need the had a great time text. And even when we get the text, we still need AI to verify that they're being genuine and they're not just fobbing us off. Because somewhere along the way, we stopped believing in our God-given ability to read other humans, to sense things, to know without being told. And this thing, it goes both ways, you know. Your partner wants to be seen. Not the curated version of themselves, not the rehearsed response ChatGPT told them to give you. Not the Instagram story version with the perfect lighting and perfect caption. They want you to see them. The one who fumbles. Who says the wrong thing sometimes. Who laughs at the most inappropriate moments. Who's anxious and messy and imperfect and real. They want you to notice when they're quiet. Not because they told you they were upset, but because you looked at them and you saw it in their eyes. They want you to know when they need space without them actually having to say, I need space. They want you to know when they need a cuddle without having to ask. To know them so deeply that you can read their moods, their needs, their fears, just by being present with them. But we can't do that anymore because we're not present. We're sitting across from each other at dinner, both on our phones, scrolling, liking posts, watching other people's lives instead of being in our own. We're in the same room, but we are not in the same room. We're absent, distracted. And when we are trying to connect, we're performing a script. We're saying what we think we're supposed to say based on what the algorithm told us or what we saw in some sort of viral TikTok relationship. We're not showing up as ourselves. We're showing up as the optimized versions, the algorithm approved version, the version that says all the right things and makes all the right gestures and looks great on camera. But that's not you. And your partner knows it, maybe not consciously, but they feel it. They feel the distance, the performance, the theatrics. They sense that you're there, but you're not really there. And you feel it too, don't you? You feel the loneliness of being with someone and still feeling alone. Of being seen, but not really seen. Of being known, but only through the data that you've shared, the texts that you've sent, the profile that you've curated. Not known in that sort of deep, wordless way that comes from years of actually looking at each other. In your 3-piece suit, or in your dodgy jogger bottoms that might have a hole in the back. Of sitting in the silence and being comfortable. Of reading each other's energies without needing an explanation. We've traded that knowing for the shallow efficiency of digital communication. For the curated highlight reel. For the algorithmic optimization of what connection is supposed to look like. And in the process, we've lost something essential. Something human. Something that cannot be replicated by code or captured in a post. The ability to just be with someone, to see them and to let them see you. Not the perfect version, the rehearsed version, not the version that ChatGPT told you had to be. Just you, imperfect, present, and real. And that is what love actually is. Not the perfect text response, not the Instagram-worthy gesture, the optimized communication strategy. Just two people seeing each other fully. No filters, no scripts, no algorithms telling you how they feel, how you feel, what to say, who to be. Two people being messy and human and present. And we're losing that voluntarily. In exchange for what? More likes, more efficiency? More perfectly crafted responses that sound like they came from a customer services bot? Is that really what we want love to become? Because if we keep going down this path, we're going to wake up one day next to someone we don't actually know. Someone that we've only ever interacted with through the lens of an algorithm. Someone who's only ever seen the curated version of us. And we'll be lonelier than we've ever been. Despite being connected. Despite having the perfect relationship on paper and in the reels. Despite saying all the right things. Because we'll have optimized the humanity right out of it. And code, no matter how sophisticated, can't replicate what it feels like to truly be seen by another person. To have someone look at you, not at your profile, your text, or the version that you perform, but at you. The real you, the messy you, the you that fumbles and fails and tries anyway. And to have them see all of that and stay. Not because an algorithm told them to, but because they chose to. Because they want to. Because seeing you, like really seeing you, is what makes them feel alive. Because that's the version that they're in love with, however crazy. That's what we're losing, people. And I don't know about you, but I think that's worth fighting for. I do. And because I've definitely asked the internet for advice, instead of sitting in my own feelings. Because I've definitely performed connection instead of actually connecting. I guess my encouragement to myself today is, put the phone down. Look at the person across from you. Not at their profile, not at what they texted, at them. See them, and let them see you, messy, imperfect, and fumbling right through it. Because that's where love actually lives. Not in the algorithm, but in the uncomfortable, beautiful human mess of trying to know and be known. Technology should serve as a bridge to presence, not a replacement for it. And it's time we remember that. Until next time, it's every shade. Okay.